Summary question. Living on Mars is a game for squillionaires and the agencies of superpower governments. For Elon Musk and NASA, not the average citizen. The reason is obvious and simple. It is mind expensive and complex to get people and equipment to a planet 140 million miles from Earth. The artists Ella Good and Nikki Kent are, however, undeterred. So he says living on Mars is a game for people who have a lot of money, not for the average person, because it's very expensive. And for a person to get all that equipment to go to another planet, which is so far away. But this fact has not deterred two artists. Who are they? Ella Good and Nikki Kent. They are undeterred by these facts. On a Bristol wharf next to the Shedd Museum of the city's history, they have installed what they call a people's version of living on Mars. So these artists have installed what they call a people's version of living on Mars. What is it? A prototype Martian house built to a budget of £50,000 with an additional £20,000 spent on workshops plus support in kind from a number of construction companies. This is what they've done. They have built a prototype Martian house with £50,000 with another £20,000 extra on workshops and support and things like that. This expenditure is about enough at a guess to pay for the toothbrushes on a typical real life space program. So they've made this budget version on Earth of how it would be to live on Mars. But and that's on 50,000 plus additional 20,000, so 70,000 pounds. But this budget is probably enough at a guess to pay for the toothbrush when you actually live on Mars. Alright? Main points at your fingertips. Let's look at the options. Living on Mars is a costly affair. It cannot be afforded by anyone. Two artists have, however, created a prototype of a house on Mars on a much lower budget. Okay? Living on Mars is not for the average man, correct? What have these two people done? Have created a prototype of a house on Mars on a much lower budget, which allows you to live here. So somewhere, what is the problem with this option? Some parts of it are missing. That it's expensive, but a prototype, a model budget house has been built, which will allow people to get a glimpse of what life on Mars is. So this somewhere seems to say that they have built a proper house on Mars. Prototype of what it is, a Martian house built, which will give you some sort of an feel of what life on Mars is. What exactly is it saying? It seems somewhat incomplete to me. Let's look at the next one. Two artists have created a comparatively low budget version of life on Mars that has caught the attention of millionaires and superpowers. Has it? Is Musk fascinated by the prototype house of what a house on Mars looks like? Is he fascinated? So second part is definitely out. So B is out. C. Two determined artists have created a prototype of a Martian house in the US as living on Mars is prohibitively expensive. I've created a prototype of a Martian house in the US, more specific than this. As living on Mars is prohibitively expensive. Looks okay to me. Let's look at D. Two artists have created a comparatively low budget version of life on Mars by spelling only the cost of a toothbrush. Cost of a toothbrush on Mars, not general cost of a toothbrush. So between all the bad options that we have, which one seems to cover and get the overall tone and theme of the passage right? It is C. Between A and C, that life on Mars is prohibitively expensive. It's not for the average man. But these two artists have not been deterred. They have made something which is a prototype of a house on Mars with a low budget, much lower than what it would be to live on Mars. Okay. Much lower budget is too general here. Here they've said prototype where you can live exactly like that. Okay. How lower budget means how much? 2 rupees, 2 pounds, 10 pounds. So 1 in every way looks incomplete to me. C is more, has most of the points and the overall a good summary.